What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome in to episode 125, everybody. I am your host, SleezBall. Today's episode will be my tight end tier rankings, top 30, heading into week 9 here. So you have the 49ers and the Steelers that are on a bye, so make sure George Kittle and Pat Freiermuth are out of your lineups. Before we dive into it here, guys, make sure you smash that like. Make sure you smash that subscription. Turn that bell on so you know when I'm live. It helps me out a ton, guys. I will be live on Thursday for the birthday Halloween stream. I'll be dressed up in a whole outfit. It's going to be awesome. Hope you guys are in there. And if you can't make the live stream, it'll be 5 p.m. Eastern as well on Thursday. I'll be taking 2 hours of questions. If you can't make the live stream, you can always drop any comment you want down below. One of my goals as a content creator is to answer every single one of them, help you guys get that weekly win and get you that ultimate goal of the trophy at the end of the season, guys. And if you want to check out my QB, running back, wide receiver, defense, kickers, those are all out. This will be the last ranking video of the day. Then tomorrow I'll get on to all my start sit-ups for every single matchup for you guys tomorrow. And then I'll dive into some smash starts, sleepers, buy low, sell high, stuff like that later in the week, guys. And let's dive into my tight end rankings. So if you guys are new to the channel, this is my tight end board for week 9 here, guys. At the bottom, you are going to see the tight end 1 on the season. George Kittle and Pat Freiermuth are on a bye, so they are down there. Make sure they are out of your rosters. And we are going to get crazy here this week with my number 1 call for tight end this week, guys. My number 1 call is going to be Kade Sutton. He is going to do it back-to-back weeks. Last week, he goes up against Atlanta. They were a top 10 defense versus the tight end. You have Chris Godwin. You have Mike Evans out. What does he do? He sees 10 targets, plays 93% of the snaps, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns, 29 points, is tight end 1 on the week, and he is going to do it again, and here's why. The Kansas City Chiefs, guys, ranked dead last versus the tight end. 32nd on the season, 16.8 points allowed. They do rank 10th in the red zone, so they get a little better inside the 20. But here you go again. They give up 80.9 points per game to the tight end, yards to the tight end position. And guys, when I say 80, there's only one other team that allows 70 plus, and that is the Baltimore Ravens. So the next after that is 63. So that is a huge average jump to how many yards the Kansas City Chiefs give up to the tight end position. And you get the Monday night game, last laugh. I love Kade Sutton this week as my tight end 1. Tight end 2 on the week is going to come in at Brock Bowers. Just the tight end 2 overall in the season, averaging 14.1 points per game. And he gets another plus matchup. You get the Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals rank 26th versus the tight end, giving up 14.3 points. They rank 30th in the red zone, so they give up about almost a touchdown a game to the tight end position. So it's a very plus matchup in the red zone for him there as well. And they also give up 57.4 yards to the position of the game. And Jacoby Myers came back. He got the touchdown. That helped a little bit. But I still think Brock Bowers is going to be the focal point of this offense. And, God, if you own him right now, you're so happy. Tight end number 3, Trey McBride. Oh, my goodness, did he show up last week, guys. Trey McBride just saw the most targets on the year, most yards on the year, most catches on the year against a tough matchup. So Miami, I did not see that coming. It looks like the chemistry is growing with Kyler Marvin and Trey McBride. They're going to be a nasty trio. And he saw 134 yards last week. So very impressive there on the Trey McBride side. He was my tight end 1 on the year. So I love to see the breakout coming here. Tough matchup here, though. You get the Chicago Bears. And like I said, if you watch any of my other videos, they're getting healthy. They're about to get Brisker back. They're about to get Gray back. So they've had 2 starters that are really out for this defense, and they're still 12th versus the tight end. Getting that safety over the top is always lurking on the tight end. So something to watch there with Brisker on McBride as well. And they rank 11th in the red zone, and they give up 53.1 yards, which is bottom 10 in the NFL. But again, they've been banged up, so those numbers are kind of skewed. The Chicago Bears defense is very good, but you're never benching Trey McBride, let's be honest. But I'm just saying temper your expectations a little bit. Number 4, David Njoku. The exit of Amari Cooper has just been insane for Njoku. 21 targets over the past 2 weeks, 15 receptions, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns, touchdown in each game. I mean, he's going to be an athletic specimen, superstar tight end the rest of the way. It's absolutely crazy to me that like people didn't buy low and go get him as soon as that thing happened. So he's still tight end 16 on the year. He missed 3 games in the middle, right? But last 2 games, averaging 20 points in fantasy. That's unbelievable for the tight end position. I know it was National Tight End Week, last week, and everyone went bananas. But now the Cleveland Browns in this matchup are going to get, and they did that versus the Ravens too, by the way. So now the Cleveland Browns are going to get the Chargers, right? Chargers, top defense all around, but where are the Chargers weak at? The tight end position. This is literally their only weakness in the defense. So they rank 18th versus tight end, giving up 11.3 points. They do rank number 2 in the red zone, but those red zone numbers don't scare me with his big body size, athletic ability. 53.3 yards allowed by them as well. So in this game, Jerry Jeudy starting to emerge, Cedric Tillman starting to emerge, and Njoku's still going to be the red zone threat. He's the big body, and I like Njoku as my tight end 4. Heading into tight end 5 here, sticking with that Monday Night Football game. This is going to be the electric tight end game here. Travis Kelce has a super plus matchup versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They rank 27th versus tight end, giving up 14.5 points. They rank 20th in the red zone, so high touchdown upside there. And they give up the 64.8 yards. That's the second worst. So the Chiefs and the Bucs both give up the most yards to the tight end. The Monday Night Football game. This is why I like Kade Sutton so much. I think DAndre Hopkins will be more involved, take a couple targets away from Travis Kelce here. And that's the only reason I have Travis Kelce lower this week. Number 6. The guy I told you to never give up on, Kyle Pitts. The show is here. 2 touchdowns last week, tight end 2 on the week. Now you get the Dallas Cowboys. But the Dallas Cowboys, so when you look at these numbers, when I'm looking at these numbers here, right, if you've seen my other videos, they're going to get healthy. They're going to get Micah Parsons back. They may get Bland back. They may get Lawrence back. 3 stars that have been out. So their defense still ranks 17th versus tight end. They rank 26th in the red zone, so very high touchdown upside for Pitts. 48.7 yards per game, which is middle of the pack. But again, when they get all their stars back, these numbers are skewed. So it could be a different looking game. Just depends on if they're out there or not. I haven't seen the update. I'm sure Micah will be back. I don't know about Bland and Lawrence, though. Heading down to my tier 1, Evan Ingram. I mean, could it get any better for Evan Ingram owners right now? I mean, you lose Christian Kirk. BTJ, we don't know day-to-day, could practice tomorrow, could be out there. It was 2 to 4 weeks, and it was day-to-day. The injury updates are freaking crazy this year. Gabe Davis bangs his shoulder up. ETN is banged up. This may be the full Evan Ingram let it loose game here. And the Jags season is probably going to be over after this week if they lose to the Eagles, man. 2-7. I don't see them coming back from that. And when you play against Philly, they're very tough versus the tight end, but I don't care. So they're number 3 on the season. They only allow 7.6 points to the tight end position. They're number 5 in the red zone. Very, very tough defense versus tight end, and 39.7 yards allowed, which is top 5. But again, volume is king. And when you're just going to get peppered with targets and targets and targets, I'm still going to put him as a top 10 tight end. I have him at number 7 this week. Number 8, Jake Ferguson. Now, Jake Ferguson draws the Atlanta Falcons. And what just happened to the Atlanta Falcons? Kade Sutton just ate him up for 30 fantasy points, was tight end 1 on the week. Will that happen again? CeeDee Lamb's also a target as well, right? So when you're looking at Kade Sutton, he was the main focal point. Still a great matchup for Ferguson being the second option in the offense. The Atlanta Falcons are ranked 22nd versus tight end, but they just got gashed, right? So these numbers, they were a lot lower before this week. They rank 18th in the red zone, and they give up 49 yards per game, which is middle of the pack there at the tight end. Now, the Cowboys' run game, man, is just non-existent. This is why I've loved Jake Ferguson all year long. I know he had a down week last week. I expect him to be back in the 10-plus point week range this week. And he could possibly find the end zone. It's got to be, I mean, CD is going to draw Bates, Simmons over top. Terrell may be shadowing him. This could be open lanes for Ferguson in this game, and I like him in my tight end 8. Tight end number 9 always was Mark Andrews. Everyone was high on the Isaiah Likely 1-game pop-off. Let's get that away now. Mark Andrews now has 4 touchdowns in 3 games. He's had 15 points, 20 points, 14 points. And what's interesting enough here that you have to also look at is the Baltimore Ravens just traded a 5th-round pick and a 6th-round option for Deontay Johnson. So how much really 11 personnel are you going to see out there, right? Probably going to hurt Isaiah Likely the most out of this. So I'm going to talk about him at the same time here because we're on the same team. So Likely is down there. He's at my tight end 20 this week. And it's just one of those matchups right now where I'm like, how's it going to look, right? So it's hard to kind of decipher it here. You get the Denver Broncos. This is my favorite defense on the year. But the Denver Broncos are like the Vikings, or not the Vikings, the Chargers. If they have one weak spot, it's tight end. So they rank 14th versus tight end, giving up 10.8 points, ninth in the red zone. So pretty much a top 10 defense versus tight end, 43.2 yards. Again, that's bottom or top 15 in the NFL. So how is it going to look with Deontay Johnson? I don't know. I think it's going to really hurt Isaiah Likely. I think it's going to help Mark Andrews more. But we're going to have to wait and see on that. The matchup, is not great. It's not bad. But if Denver had one weak spot, this is it. And when you're on a touchdown heater of 4 and 3 games, you're starting Mark Andrews. Let's be real. Number 10. This is going to be another tough one here for me. So Sam Laporta. And this again comes down to Jordan Love being out there. If Jordan Love is not out there, it could be a bad game script again. Kind of like why I didn't like Amon-Ra last week. I know David Montgomery threw a halfback pass to Laporta, which was disgusting, which gave him a teeter. But the Detroit Lions, the Green Bay Packers, it's a beautiful matchup, right? They ranked 25th versus the tight end. They gave up 14.2 points. They ranked 23rd in the red zone. They gave up 60 yards. They're third worst in yards. But how much volume are you really going to see if Malik Willis is out there? This Detroit Lions team is elite, guys. And even losing Hockenson, they're still balling out. Their defense is still playing lights out. So it's kind of one of these, I'll leave him here for now. If Jordan Love plays, I would move him higher because I love the matchup versus Green Bay. But if Jordan Love isn't out there, I would leave him here, maybe possibly a little lower because I don't love the game script. Number 11, Dalton Kincaid finding the end zone last week, gets the Miami Dolphins this week. And the Miami Dolphins, just like I was talking about, so they're a good defense versus tight end. They rank 7th. They give up 9 points a game. They rank 4th in the red zone, so pretty much a top 5 to 6 defense overall. 44.7 yards, which is top 15 as well yardage-wise. But it's like a weird scenario here. So if you're looking back, right, and you're going to go, oh, well, let me look back at what Trey McBride did. He just blew him up, right? Difference, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison, do we think Amari Cooper at 50% snaps last week brings the same thing to the table? I don't know. I think it could be a shootout game. I really like Dalton Kincaid, but it's a tough matchup. But again, the Dolphins just got shredded by McBride, so I'm kind of up in the air of how it's going to look here. Number 12, man, I honestly, here's the thing. I think with Tucker Kraft, I think that Malik Willis might be able to help him in this game, honestly. So I know he's touchdown dependent. The volume's always going to be all over the place with four targets going on between Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Tucker Kraft, Josh Jacobs at the backfield. If Malik Willis is out there, I'd still leave him here. Same with Jordan Love. So the Green Bay Packers are going to be in this, division game versus the Detroit Lions. But the Detroit Lions are number 2 versus the tight end. 7.1 points allowed. They're number 7 in the red zone, so a top 5 defense all the way around versus tight end position. And only 30 yards given up to the position. So could he be the security blanket for Malik Willis? Yes. Is it a great play? No. Did he get a touchdown? Yes. So, all those things are kind of... But Green Bay, it's just tough right now. So I'm going to leave him at tight end 12. Number 13, Hunter, the man, Henry. But it's over for him now. You saw the numbers with Jacoby Brissett. The difference that you saw with Drake May, he only got over 10 points once with Jacoby Brissett. He hit that in 3 games straight with Drake May. Drake May looks to be out with a concussion. They're playing the Tennessee Titans. The Titans are very good versus the tight end. They rank number 5. Giving up 8.6 points. They rank 17th in the red zone. So there's kind of a touchdown upside there. And 33 yards, which is top 10. Jacoby Brissett at quarterback, I don't love it, man. I was getting super high on Henry. I'd love to see the chemistry grow with Drake May, and then he gets a concussion. Looks like he might miss a game. If Drake May's out there, I would raise him above, Tucker Kraft, Laporta. I put him right there at 10. But Jacoby Brissett, I just can't do it. Number 14, Cole Kmet, had him on a sit-em last week, hit absolute nails on that. And the Bears, it's the same thing as like the Green Bay Packers. It's so touchdown dependent. How much do I really trust Cole Kmet, right? So when I'm looking at Tucker Kraft, you get Romeo Dobbs, you get Jaden Reed, you get Dontavian Wicks, all the Christian Watson, all the wide receivers. It's the same thing in Chicago. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Romo Dunze. So I know the matchup versus the Arizona Cardinals is above middle of the tier. So the Cardinals rank 20th, giving up 11 points. They rank 16th in the red zone, so the touchdown upside is minimal. And they give up 51 yards, which is bottom 15. But you're always going to be playing that who's going to get the target here. It looked like there was a little security blanket growing before the bye, and he came out the bye and he did nothing. So I'm going to leave him at tight end 14 as if you need to play him, you can. But I don't really ever love playing, a guy where you're in a 4 rotation for target share. So I'm going to leave him at tight end 14. Number 15 is going to be Dallas Goedert. And if he's out there healthy, you got to be paying attention to the updates. He's missed a couple games with the injury here. The Jacksonville Jaguars rank 23 versus tight end, giving up 13.9 points. They rank 29th in the red zone, so very high touchdown upside here. 56 yards, which is bottom 10 allowed to the tight end position. And this is another game where I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that it's going to be a Saquon Barkley game because the Jags have so many injuries across the board, and their defense is terrible everywhere. Wide receiver, running back, quarterback, tight end. The Jags can't stop anybody. But if they can't score any points either, it's just going to be a Jalen Hurts tush-push Saquon Barkley game. So that's why I've dropped Dallas Goedert down, because I don't think they're going to have to score, a ton. I don't want to say like that. I don't think they're going to have to play a catch-up game in points here. I think they're just going to dominate this game start to finish. So I'm a little lower on Dallas Goedert this week. Number 16 could be a spike here. If you followed my channel or been a subscriber, I've always tried to stay away from Dalton Schultz. I mean, he's had great matchups, like back-to-back-to-back weeks, and still has been a decent floor play, nothing exciting. So he hasn't broken 10 points all season long, man. That's how rough it's been. So now you have Stephon Diggs out with the ACL tear with the knee. Should that bring his targets up? Yes. Should that help volume? Yes. Do I trust it? No, I do not. So you get the New York Jets in this game, Thursday night football, right? And the Texans offense has been struggling. The Jets versus the tight end are number 9. They only give up 9.5 points. They're number 1 in the red zone, 0. So very low touchdown upside for Dalton Schultz in this game. And they also average 42.2 yards per game, which is top 12 in the NFL. I know Tank Dell's now the guy out there. You're going to have Hockenson. You're going to have John Mechie. It should be more relied on Joe Mixon in this game. It should just be a ground and pound attack here coming. And I just never trust Dalton Schultz, man. It looks like everything's pointing green, but it's not, man. I don't trust him. Coming in behind him at number 17 here is going to be Zach Ertz. Big week last week for Zach Ertz. I mean, I want to see Ben Sinnott so bad. So Zach Ertz is now 3 straight games with 10-plus points. 14 points last game, 11 targets last game, which is crazy for a tight end position, especially against the Bears, who I said the Bears are still a top, 12 or top 12 to 10 defense versus tight end, and they've had injuries, and he still had a big game. So as long as JD5 is out there, Zach Ertz is always a playable tight end. It's just like a floor play and with a touchdown upside. So you're going to get 6, 7, 8 points with a touchdown upside. And I really want to see Ben Sinnott, man. I liked him out of Kansas State a lot. Rounding out tier 2 he's finally back, I believe. So I don't know the updates official yet, but he practiced 2 weeks straight now coming off his injury. TJ Hockenson. And this matchup is great. You get the pot of gold, the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts and the Jags, you start everybody versus them. So they rank 29th versus the tight end, giving up 14.7. They do get really well inside the red zone here. No, never mind. They rank 31st in the red zone. Sorry. So the touchdown upside is very, very high. 56 yards, which is bottom 10. Do I trust him on his first game back? He's probably going to see 30 to 50% snap share. Could pop a touchdown. There's always that first game back. Let's get him involved for a touchdown, get everyone hyped up. That could happen, of course. I think it's going to be a shootout game in Minnesota versus Indy as well, too, with Joe Flacco at quarterback, so you got to like that. But I'm not starting a guy in his first game. I know if you held him this long, you're looking solid because the Vikings are definitely in contention. But I don't feel comfortable starting him, but I'm going to put him at tight end 18 this week. Tight end 19, my sleeper tight end play of the week that will be on my sleepers call is going to be Noah Fant. Now, Noah Fant, always that tight end, kind of pops here, kind of pops there, never really consistent, more like a floor play of like 4 to 5 points, right? In the past 2 weeks, He's gotten 10 points out of 2 or 3 games, right? Now, this week, I know DK Metcalf may not be out there, may be out there. That would take volume share away. That's his first read. I get all that. But this is the matchup you want. You get the Los Angeles Rams. So if you need a tight end plug and play, and trust me, all the tight ends are not going to score 16 touchdowns like National Tight End Day. It's like the script writers for the NFL just write that up. It's not going to happen again. That was the most all time. So now you get the LA Rams, who are 31st versus the tight end. They give up 16 points a game to the tight end position. They rank 27th in the red zone, and they give up 64 yards. This is a great play, sleeper play here for Noah Fant. Do you trust it? It's risky, but the odds are in the favor, and this is going to be one of my DFS plays. This is going to be one of my sleeper plays in the video. And if you need a tight end, I like him a lot this week. Back onto my board. Tight end 21, Mike Gesicki. This is like a Ben Sinnott thing for me right here. So Mike Gesicki gets 12 points last week. Sees 8 targets, 7 catches, 1 hands, 1 all the way stretched out, pulls it inbounds. That was awesome to see. But I want to see Eric All, man. I know it's Iowa bias for me because I'm a Hawkeyes fan, but Eric All just looks like a better tight end to me. More athletic. He was a steal in the draft with his injury. I mean, if he didn't have his injury, he probably would have gone to 2nd, 3rd round. So they got to kind of steal in the 4th round there. And then they bring in Gesicki, and it's like, oh God, now you got to wait to see all the, everything unravel. So it'll probably be next year unless an injury happens. But the matchup for the Bengals here, this is do or die. The Bengals cannot lose this game, or the wheels are going to fall off. You're playing the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders rank 19th versus tight end. They give up 11.4 points. They rank 21st in the red zone, so high touchdown upside for either one of them. And they give up 48.8 yards, which is bottom 15 in yardage. And this is everything the Bengals got right here. They cannot lose this game at home. They haven't even won a home game. They're 0-4 at home. I expect Joe Burrow to light it up. I expect Jamar Chase to light it up. I expect Higgins to light it up if he's out there. And I can see Eric All or Mike Gesicki getting some playing time here, or getting some points here. So I'm going to leave Eric All at the very end as my tight end 30. Tight end 22, a guy you should be looking into here. Jonnu Smith just played his most snaps of the season last week at 66% with Tua back. Now, I know Smith had that big pop week the week before. I called it my sleeper play against Indy, 22.6. Probably one of the only content creators on the planet to make that call, which is wild. Now, you get the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills corners are very good. The Buffalo Bills defense is very good versus the pass. Their weak spot is versus the tight end. They rank 16th. They give up 11 points. They rank 12th in the red zone, so about a top 13 to 14 defense, and they give up 46.5 yards to the position. And that's, middle tier. But you got Tyreek, you got Waddle, you got HN, and they got to worry about everybody else. Dude, Jonnu Smith should be running free the rest of the way. He's learning the playbook. He's getting more playing time. So break it down like this. He never played over 50% of the snaps, guys, for the first 7 weeks till week 8. Then he played 66. So it's been under 49, 41, 42, 38, 42, 38. So getting him acclimated. Now we're here. Jonnu Smith is probably going to be a nice play the rest of the way here, especially with the Dolphins being, where they're at record-wise, 2-6. They're in a must-win situation as well. Heading down to tier 4. And man, didn't it just crazy that the injury to Hayden Hurst really elevated Will Disley. So in the past 2 weeks, Will Disley's seen 18 targets, averaging 9 a game. He's seen 122 yards, averaging 60 yards a game. Hasn't found the end zone, but Herbert loves his tight ends. And like I said, if you needed a streamer play last week, it was an okay streamer play. It wasn't too crazy. Of course, he didn't find the end zone, but now you have the Chargers in a big matchup here versus the Browns, coming off a major win versus the Ravens. The Browns, though, are number 6 versus the tight end, giving up 9 points. Number 8 in the red zone, so low touchdown upside, 41 yards, bottom 15 there as well. But again, you're probably going to get 5, 6, 7 targets in this game. So if you need these are streamer plays past this point, right? But if you need a streamer play, plug and play, Will Disley's been all right, guys. Coming up after him at tight end 24 is going to be Tyler Conklin. Found the end zone on National Tight End Day. Do I like it versus the Houston Texans? I think this is going to be the Jets' all or nothing game here. I mean, he's now 3rd or 4th in the pecking order. Looks like Alan Lazard will probably be back out there as well. So I think they're going to feed Devontae Adams. I think they're going to feed Garrett Wilson. They're going to feed Lazard. And I think this is going to be a game where you don't see a lot of Tyler Conklin here. So when you're going up against the Houston Texans versus the tight end right now, the Houston Texans on the season currently rank number 1 versus the tight end. They give up 6.7 points, but they rank 22nd in the red zone, which is very, very strange. So they don't let any yards go at all during the game, and then they just let a touchdown go in the red zone. So could be the upside there. Don't love it. They only give up 21 yards a game to the tight end position. Their front 7 is nasty, man. 21 yards. Second to that is 30, and that's the Lions. So they average a 9-yard average less at the tight end position. That's how good the Texans are versus the tight end. Tyler Conklin, unless you need a dart throw red zone touchdown, don't love it. Coming in at number 25, big news here, Davon Sanders. So he was starting to grow in Canales' system. He got more involved, right? As you were watching it go, I loved him out of Texas, man. I was super high on him coming out. And then I was like, oh, man, he landed in Canales' system. And Canales last year had Kade Sutton, who ran the most snaps in the NFL just running wind sprints. He didn't do anything in the system. Then you saw a little emergence here. Then you saw 13 targets in week 7 and week 6. You saw 11 receptions. You saw almost 100 yards and no touchdown, sorry. And now you have Deontay Johnson heading out of town. Adam Thielen could be on the trade block. The Panthers are going to start getting some pieces here to get younger for next year and start looking to build for the future. And this is one they should be looking to see what he has. He's only 21 years old. I mean, the opportunities are going to be here. Do I trust it? No. But still, something you should be keeping your eye on here. Number 26, Tamm Hill, the jack of all trades. If you like to play the gamble game with a tight end, you can do it. I never recommend it. I mean, he only had 5 points last week. He was my sleeper call. He did beat his projection, but it was super ugly. Now Derek Carr is back. So I thought last week, with Spencer Rattler, he might get to see more looks here and there, not as much as I thought. And I'm not even going to look at the tight end stats because he doesn't really do the tight end receiving work. He's more of, I'll get the rush here, take an end around, take a double pass, do something crazy. That's why I call him the jack of all trades, but I never really like starting him. Next up in tier 5 is going to be Colby Parkinson coming in at tight end 27. And just let me down all year, man. I mean, just let me down. You have Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp out. You were playing a 80 to 90% snap share and never cracked 10 points but once. That was strange to me with him, especially in a Matt Stafford system. Now you have both these guys back. It's just going to be looking at them the whole way. Even though the matchup is okay. They get the Seattle Seahawks. They rank 24th versus the tight end. They give up 14.1 points. They rank 28th in the red zone. So the touchdown upside is there if you need a DFS dart throw play. They also give up 61 yards, which is bottom 5. But you know how it goes with Stafford when his boys are out there. He's probably going to get maybe 2 to 3 looks, targets, if anything. And I just don't trust that. That's why I have him in the bottom tier. Coming in at number 28 is Theo Johnson. And if you guys have been a subscriber to my channel, you know how high I've been on this guy. Out of Penn State, loved him. And it's just, he got 4 targets last game. They're all in garbage time, or not garbage time, at the end of the game. So that was good to see there, but nothing to really trust. It's going to be the Malik Neighbors, Wandale, and you're even Darius Slayton getting involved. So he's the 4th option. Nothing you really like when you're the 4th option. 29. And this one I was kind of, a little excited on last week in weird ways because they traded they traded DeAndre Hopkins. So Calvin Ridley sees 15 targets. All of a sudden, this is something you have to pay attention to. Chigakonkwo, he didn't do anything but 1.4 points, I know, but he saw 5 targets, season high. So as soon as DeAndre Hopkins is gone, I know they played the Detroit Lions and they had to throw a ton, which I predicted. I predicted Calvin Ridley to have a big game as well. Something to keep your eye on is Chigakonkwo because he'll probably be the 2nd option in the offense. And like if I'm talking Theo Johnson, Colby Parkinson, all these guys, they do not have this upside. I just need to see Chig put it together. And then coming in at tight end 30 was Eric All. We already talked about him. Thanks for rocking with me today, guys. That is the end of the rankings. That is the end of the episode for tight ends, my week 9 top 30 into tiers, guys, for you. Before we head out, guys, make sure you smash that like. Make sure you smash that subscription. All the support has been amazing. I cannot thank you guys enough. Turn that bell on. Again, I will be live Thursday for the Halloween birthday stream. I'll be turning 38, man. I'm getting older by the goddamn day. And if you guys want to check out all my rankings, so they're all out now. Defense, kicker, even waiver wire for tonight. If you guys need to check out the waiver wire, running backs, wide receivers, and now tight end, guys. That's it for me today. I will get all my stardom sit-ems out to you guys tomorrow before the kickoff for Thursday. That's my goal as a content creator. And again, guys, if you have any questions, comments, anything, it does not have to relate to this video, stardom sit-ems, trade options, whatever it is, drop them in the comments. I try to get to them all to help you guys. And that is it for me today, guys. SleezBall out. Hope to see you guys in tomorrow's videos.